Ladies and gentlemen, again, really apologize. I should almost change the name of this series for the sole purpose that I'm forgetting to make it daily. But believe me, I really do try to get it daily. It's just really hard to basically make time and allocate a certain part of my day, like a 5 minute part of my day where I can do this, because sometimes I just don't feel like I'm in the mood. But I owe it to you guys to make these videos because I believe that, in my opinion, some of my lessons or things I talk about can help other people in situations maybe. So I'm here, I'm present, I am ready to give you guys a lesson. And today especially, I'm actually no longer associated with any post or any secondary education, basically like high school. So technically I'm associated with my high school, but I'm officially graduated, so I'm actually on my way to university now. And if any of you guys are curious, I am going to St. Mary's for St. Mary's University for a 4-year program of commerce and a bachelor's degree. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited to basically go to the city every single day to do high school, or to do school, sorry. But I'm also stressed out because I have no idea how it's going to be. So we'll find out. But today's lesson is about the problem with high school. Now, for me, high school sucked. There's no ifs, ands, buts, or anything about it. High school really sucks for the sole reason that it's just frantic, and there's lots of stuff that you wish you could control, wish you could change, but you can't, because high school is very controlled in some aspects and it's not controlled in others. It's not controlled in the sense that your grades and the things that a lot of times what you put into high school you won't get out. Even if you put all your effort into something, you still won't get out of it, because in high school someone can have more friends and cheat off their tests and stuff and get better grades than you, even though you're putting in all the work to study. That can still happen. I went through high school with a lot of stress. Well, I wouldn't say a lot, but I'd say like a good amount of stress. And I'm a very laid back person. If any of you guys are watching this and you know me personally, you know that most cases I'm a very laid back person. I'm relaxed, like I am right now. But when I play basketball or when I play sports, I get competitive, obviously, because I want to win. But most times I'm a really laid back person, and I don't get really stressed often. But high school made me super stressed sometimes. Like, it literally made me so not even anxious, just so nervous and upset. I never cried at high school, never did. But I know a lot of people who did cry, and it's really easy to cry in high school, and it's a sad truth, because I don't want anybody to cry, I don't want anyone to feel bad, but when you're in high school, a lot of things happen. Basically, your social life, your school life, and your home life are all combined into one. Whereas when you're in university, they kind of separate your school life and your social life, because I haven't been to university yet, obviously, but from what I've been told, university is strictly about your school life, and I mean, obviously your social life plays a big part in that. But in high school, if you know the right people, and like, if you're part of different groups, you can get a certain advantage, and that's what happens that's what dissipates when you go to university, because you're paying the money for your studies, for your grades. You're not paying for someone else's tests and all that type of stuff. It's much more controlled, and it's a much more secure environment. Whereas some high schools are still figuring it out, and like, students can control and abuse the teachers, and in the sense that they know teachers so well that they can abuse them. Whereas when you're in university, you don't know teachers that well, and they get paid a lot of money to do what they do, so they're very controlling and they know what to do. And it's not the same thing like public education. Teachers are being paid by the government most times, and don't they adhere to what the parents are saying, because they're being paid by the taxpayers. But in university, you're being paid by the student, so the parent has absolutely no idea, no control over what the teacher does. So that's why the environment completely changes. But in my opinion, bring back to the high school thing. In my opinion, when you're in high school, the stress that you get from being in high school is not from high school work itself. It can be if you're trying really hard to get really good grades, but like, if you're in high school, most times the stress comes from the people around you, your social life, and trying to fit in, trying to be parts of different groups, and that's the tough part. Like, I made a lesson a while ago saying, like, do what you want to do and don't do what everyone else wants you to do. Even if, I mean, you can obviously do what everyone else wants you to do if that's what you want to do. but you should always do what you want to do. And in high school, there's lots of peer pressure. There's so much of it. I can't even explain in words the immense importance that you need to realize when you're in high school is that you really need to have control of what you want to like be responsible for, and it's a really big decision. And sometimes you won't make people happy. You can't ever make everyone happy, so you have to do what you personally choose to do. And the final point I'll get on is that bullying is a very difficult subject to talk about, especially for some people. Um, I was bullied a lot when I was younger. Some people obviously had it worse than I did. I'm not gonna say that I had it the worst, but I definitely was bullied by quite a few people. Some people I even graduated with, which is fair. But people change. People got better. I associate with some people who used to bully me. Maybe I do. Maybe I don't. I can't really remember at this time. But what I'm trying to say is that in high school, bullying is easy to evade, but it's also easy to get caught up in, because in high school you need to realize that they will talk smack about other people a lot. And the best strategy for people, if you're in high school, if you're trying to avoid being bullied, because bullying will almost always exist, just the same way that war will. It's sad to say, and in my opinion, I wish there was peace on earth forever, but bullying is almost impossible to avoid in high school, because somehow, one way or another, someone will get bullied, no matter what, whether it's actually in the school or whether it's online or whatever, because obviously the social media is evolving into this weird monster that we don't know what's going to be. But it's so easy to get caught up in being bullied and also be a bully. It's really hard sometimes to even realize maybe you are bullying somebody, and it's hard, you might get really, defensive if you realize that you are treating somebody incorrectly. And it's easy to evade bullying in the sense that it's easy to just, go with your own flow. Like what I did was I just kind of just stuck to my own wavelength and I didn't really care. But for a lot of people, that's really hard, because some people get anxious and they get nervous and they don't, they tend to care what people say about them. And it sucks, because you don't want people like me. I don't want people to think that other people think that they're stupid or that they look ugly, right? Because they don't. They look beautiful. They look amazing. Their shoes are okay. Like their pants are okay. Like I don't know. People get very anxious and nervous about what people say about them, and it sucks because I wish that those people didn't feel that way. But that's just the truth. That's just the sad reality of it. So, one second. So one thing to remember is that in high school you need to just go with your own flow, as hard as it is sometimes, and just trust the people around you, that they will be your friends and that they will support you, and support them back because they trust you as well. So thank you guys for watching. Leave a like down below if you like this video. There's obviously a dislike button if you'd like to dislike this video. Hit the subscribe button for more daily Dylans, or semi-daily Dylans. And leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think of this video. If you want me to maybe do some cuts, do some intro music or something like that. Right now we're keeping it raw. Probably the next couple episodes we're going to keep it raw, and then I'll change it up maybe, and I'll tell you guys what I think. Or you guys can tell me what you think. So, thank you guys for watching. See ya.